Hi guys, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Anu and Igor here at Vinous Reverie Wine Merchant out here in Walnut Creek, California. Thanks for joining us. It's our wine show for the adventurous wine drinker. And today, what are we having?
We're having the Sonoma County Pinot Noir.
Awesome, Valravn, right?
Yes.
And this wine, really nice, cute cover. It's part of our Halloween 5 pack.
Quoth the Raven, Nevermore.
Right. So we've got
Yeah.
we've got a 5 pack of wines that are just really great wines, but also beautiful, nice, spooky labels. So I'm excited to have this one. All
Yeah.
right.
And
Cool.
Raven, obviously, reference to Edgar Allan Poe, which is funny. This is already the second show, but we have a reference to Edgar Allan Poe. We had Equipo Novazos Sherry, who were also inspired by Edgar Allan Poe for
That's
their.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did. I do think this is if you're gonna read some Edgar Allan Poe poetry, this is excellent because it has a nice
Yeah.
raven cover. All right. Cool. Well, give me some background on this wine or this grape.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on Pinot Noir. I think it's grape that anybody who drinks wines knows Pinot Noir. I'll just give a little background on it, just kind of some details. So Pinot Noir is the oldest form of Pinot. There's also Pinot Blanc, Pinot Gris. In fact, Pinot, it's in a lineage. It's typically a parent to a lot of the grapes. So hundreds of grapes that exist in the world. A lot of them probably have Pinot Noir as one of the parents. It's a Burgundian grape, so it's most known in Burgundy. The most famous expression is red Burgundy.
Okay.
It's a wine that I think a lot of people are obsessed with. Pinophiles to me are probably the most obsessed wine drinkers in the world. They're like looking for that. Perfect expression of a wine, and I think a lot of people in different parts of the world try to replicate that special Burgundy wines.
Yeah.
And there's not that many special Burgundy wines, but the ones that are special, people think are the best wines in the world. And it's very interesting because Jancis, I think, put it beautifully. She called this capricious grape. Which I didn't know what it means, so you could kind of explain.
Yeah, so capricious means like characteristic of sudden and unaccounted for changes of mood or behavior. So it's a moody wine. I think it's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a Pinot Noir lover, and I love it because it's very, I don't know, it just reminds me of film noir. It's
Yeah.
got this like moodiness,
Yeah.
like very sensual wine.
Well,
So
ethereal is frequently the
yeah,
term that people are looking for. That's when they're looking for Pinot.
yeah,
But interestingly enough, a lot of people when they describe kind of the opposite, Cabernet. A lot of the red wines are spoken in terms of Cabernet and Pinot.
uh-huh.
So Cabernet is kind of considered the wine for thinking, for the head, whereas Pinot Noir is like a sensual and transparent wine. So it's something that you kind of experience. So. Yeah, it's an early ripening grape. It typically thrives in cooler climates. There's a lot of clones of Pinot Noir, over 50. And the ones that are mostly used in California is called the Pomard clone. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's apparently the clone that thrives the best in North America, specifically in California. So, yeah, and typically the other like thing about Pinot is whereas Cabernet is part of the Bordeaux blend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grape that's frequently blended. Pinot is typically not blended. It's typically made 100% Pinot Noir.
Right.
There are exceptions. There are experimental winemakers in Loire. Sometimes they put Gamay as which is a close cousin of Pinot Noir as blending partner. But for the most part, it's a grape that's made by itself. So
Okay.
single varietal. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Should we taste it?
Let's taste it. Yes.
Awesome. And you mentioned it's a cousin of Gamay. Pinot Noir and Gamay are both known for kind of being wines that you can taste. You can pair them with a lot of food options.
Yes.
I just want to mention that. I know
Yeah.
that we've talked about that
Very
before.
yeah. Very flexible.
Yeah. I mean, I had it before. I couldn't wait.
Mhm.
I was really excited because
Yeah.
I love Pinot Noir. And this is an excellent wine.
Yeah.
It's really good. So, from tasting notes, I would say like it's earthy. It's got some spice to it. Black tea, dark cherry. I wrote down cedar, ripe strawberries, just really nice, smooth, soft tannins. It's not, it's very nice and smooth. It's got
Yeah.
some mineral elements to it.
Yeah, it's, and there's fruit on it, right?
Yes.
Kind of familiar California fruit, but not a fruit bomb, and not um, raspberry jam, which I find in a lot of Russian River Pinots, which I'm not a big fan of. But this one doesn't have on it. This is like a nice balanced wine.
Yes, I wouldn't say it's jam. I kind of wrote ripe strawberry, but not jam. And it's got that balance
Yeah.
because it does have those spice,
Yes.
cedar, black tea notes.
Yeah.
It's not, not as straightforward fruity. Cool. So I see you have a map.
Yes, everybody's favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
So, looking at the map that nobody can see. So, this is the map of Sonoma County and a lot of different appellations within it. So, this wine comes from different parts of southern Sonoma, kind of starting from Russian River and Green Valley, some of the Sonoma coast, also Carneros, which kind of overlaps with Napa, and Sonoma Mountain and Bennett Valley. These regions are more known for Cabernet and Merlot, but some Pinot was chosen for this blend. So, Sonoma County, this is a good example, how kind of the southern part of Sonoma, but different parts of the county are where the grapes are grown, and some are cooler, some are warmer. So it's like a nice combination of fruit for this cuvee.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and this is a really nice wine. Typically, wine of this quality, I think, kind of jumps the price point. Usually, it jumps in a $50 plus range, but this one we have 23, so I think that's always like an excellent value.
$23 for
Yeah.
a really good Pinot, and we can talk about ratings a little bit later, but this is highly rated, so this
Yes.
is excellent value wine.
Yeah. So that, just a little overview kind of Sonoma. I think California wine. People are probably familiar with California wine
Yeah.
as much as anything else. So we just gave like a brief overview. But you have actually some cool backstory on the guy behind the winery and kind of his really interesting background. And actually, I didn't know a lot of the information until earlier today.
Yeah.
But after you kind of told me, it makes sense. Why this wine is so good.
Yeah, so I always like to poke around on the winery website and see if I can get some information on, who's the winemaker, who's the owner. So I saw the bio on Baron Ziegler, and it's too interesting. You guys,
Yeah.
I'm just going to report out a little bit. So Baron Ziegler is the owner of Valravn, and he's from Minnesota, and apparently he bought Bordeaux Futures at age 15.
Yeah.
So he already knew about wine as an investment that young, very successfully. And he worked at a famous sommelier's wine retail shop when he was 18 years old. Peter Eastlake, if anyone is familiar with famous sommeliers, just, on a name basis. But he apparently got into med school, and he deferred med school because he went to go work for award-winning importer Eric Solomon. So if you're following us, Vinous for Every Wine Merchant, we're big fans of Eric Solomon. So, that was kind of funny to see.
Yeah.
And Baron Ziegler is also the founder of Banshee Wines. Their tasting room is in Healdsburg. I've seen it. I've always wanted to stop by, but we're always running around doing other things. They have a beautiful tasting room. He's also the founder of Valkyrie Selections, which is an importer, as well as the winery in Oregon called Valravn, and a winery in Washington State called Requiem. So he owns quite a few things, and it looks like his wine, this particular wine, excellent value. And you were mentioning something, Igor. So Valravn, I think we served one of their wines before.
Yeah, so I didn't know any of this information you just mentioned until a couple of hours ago. So when we first opened the store, we had Valravn, which is their Willamette Valley Pinot Noir in Oregon. So that's one of the very first, I think that was the very first Oregon wine that we had in the shop when we opened up. And I didn't know the connection because it was also an excellent value wine in that below $25 price range. And I had no idea that the connection with Eric Solomon, which to me frequently we promote Eric Solomon. I think he's got the best portfolio of Spain and of Southeast France, like Rhone Valley and Languedoc. In fact, some of our famous, most favorite producers, Domaine Lafarge, which he imports, I think Domaine Lafarge makes the best value wines in the world. And one of my favorite wines is the Garnachas from Danny Landy, who works in San Gredos Mountains.
Yeah.
which is funny enough because that's the wine we're gonna have next week.
Okay.
And the week after that, we're gonna have a Mencia also from Eric Solomon portfolio. So you guys can see connection. These guys find quality fruits at these great affordable price points.
Yes.
So that when you mentioned that he worked for Solomon, I'm like, oh, okay, student learn from the master. So of finding quality at a great price point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've never heard of Requiem up in Washington, but I think we should definitely check it out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing, final parting word on his bio, it was titled "Comfortable in a Speedo," so I could not share that one. I thought it was very eccentric and funny. So, anyways, cool owner, cool story. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, no, it is cool, and I think if we jump to the points of this wine, you wanted to mention.
It's 92 points. Wine enthusiast, very very good score for $23, which is what we're retailing it for. And the other thing is, Wine Enthusiast also featured it as one of their 12 top California Pinots under $30.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of reputation behind it, and I definitely think you should check it out. Delicious.
Yes.
If you're a Pinot Noir lover, or if you're kind of interested in trying out, more Pinots, this is a good addition.
Yeah. No, it's a name to look out for, and definitely a cool background information that I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. Check us out next Friday. Every Friday we do wine tasting reviews, and drink different. That's the theme of our shop. Try new wines, try different things. You never know what you're gonna find. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. See ya.
Thank you. Bye, guys.